This is for Year 12 methods. It is a little review of graphing modulus functions or parts of the function that have a modulus involved. There are two sort of types. The first type I'll look at, which we're probably all comfortable with, is where the modulus is around everything. So if I was to look at y equals x plus 1, that's going to be a straight line that goes through at 1 and has an x-intercept of -1. This component, that which would be negative, gets flipped over the x-axis and that becomes my graph. If I had, that was an actual parabola, goes through at 2, -2, -4, the parabola would normally look like this, except the bit that's negative is flipped upside down and that goes through at 4. Okay, we're comfortable with those ones. What about where the modulus is inside here? I need to consider what are the values of x that make that negative, and x less than 0 is where it's going to be negative. So if I consider the line of y equals x plus 1, I go to there, and this gets reflected onto the other side. I end up with this as being my graph. So over the line x equals 0, I have a reflection. So if I'm looking at this parabola, the normal parabola of y equals x squared minus x minus 6 would normally be x minus 3 positive 2. But because I have a modulus around the x equals 0 will be the line at which I'm going to reflect over the line x equals 0. So my parabola would normally cut through at -2 and positive 3 and go through at -6, and the parabola would look like this. Whoops, ignore me. I just got confused as to what I was drawing. It would normally go through at -2 and 3 and go through at -6, and dead middle would be here. It's going to look like that, but instead of continuing, this is going to be reflected and we'll end up with a parabola that is a reflection over the line x equals 0. X equals 0 because the bit inside the modulus is x equals 0. An example where the reflection is not along the y-axis would be this logarithm. Log base e of 2 plus x has an asymptote at -2, and it's going to look like this. But where I have a modulus, it's going to be equal to 0 at x equals -2. Therefore, we're going to have a reflection about the line x equals -2. Okay, that's a quick little summary.